Whole Food Revolution team. I'm Ronit, I'm a happiness coach.
And I'm Dr. Nelum, I'm a GP. So Ronit, today we're going to talk about something that's, I think, really important, and that is gratitude. And we both believe in this very much, don't we?
The power
really?
of
the power of gratitude. So I just want to tell you a little story. A few years ago, like in a lot of families, in my family, we had a huge falling out, and there was a lot of things said between my dad and I. Well, my dad said a lot of things to me, which was really, really, really hurtful at the time, I felt. And I remember coming and telling you about it, Ronit, that the impact on me was this constant. It was this, like, it was running around in my mind all the time, this feeling of how dare he. I felt really resentful, that I felt that it wasn't fair. You know, all the things that people feel when they feel that they're unfairly accused. But it was this constant, every time I opened my eyes, this, you know, as soon as I got up from sleep, it impacted me during sleep. As soon as I was quiet somewhere, these thoughts came, and I realized it was just this ongoing onslaught. And I think at one point I realized it wasn't good for me. I mean, I just felt exhausted with constantly trying to keep up with these thoughts and this negativity. So I felt that I had to do something. And what I decided to do, and I didn't know if it was going to work, what I decided to do is I opened the notes in my phone and I started writing every single day one thing that I was grateful to my father for. So from the time I was little, just little things. It was simple things. Some of them are big things, some of them were little things. And as I was writing over the weeks, this list was growing. I had a lot to be grateful for, and then I realized you can't be grateful and resentful at the same time,
because one of them sits in a different place in the brain.
Yes.
The other one sits in a different place of the brain. Resentful, being angry, thinking about something that happened over and over again takes you into the primitive brain. Remember the three parts of the brain, the primitive brain. In this primitive brain, you're a prisoner. If you want to get out of that brain, you need to move to other parts of the brain.
Yes. And so, yes. And then it was as if it just lifted.
Yeah. I want you to know that many, many cultures around the world have a gratitude ceremony. They have gratitude ceremony when they get up in the morning. They have gratitude ceremony when they go to sleep. They have gratitude ceremony before they eat. Now, all cultures say gratitude words before eating. Do you know why they're saying it? Because they believed back then, I mean, I want to say they believed, but in fact, they knew back then that everything that you're grateful for keeps coming into your life. We're not going to go deeply into this, but there is a function in the brain who's called the reticular activating system that's its job to do. So things that you focus on keep coming into our lives. Yes. Things that you focus on with happiness keep coming into your life. Things that you focus on with anger it keeps coming into your life.
Exactly.
So they knew it back then. So all cultures, all traditions, because they understood that the opposite of being happy and healthy
is being resentful.
Is actually taking things for granted.
Yes, absolutely.
So if you stop taking things for granted, then you change your attitude, your energy level, your focus into the good things that are happening to you in life. So this gratitude activity is in fact shifting your focus from the half empty part of the glass to the half full part of the glass. So whenever things are happening around you and you're overwhelmed and you're frustrated, it's only because your focus
Yeah. So what happened? So,
Is in the wrong place.
Yeah, from there, in terms of me and my dad, we are now absolutely fine. The problem and all the things that happened, but that's history.
Yeah. And you need to understand that when someone did something that wasn't pleasant for you, all these things is actually hurting yourself. I know there's a beautiful phrase that says, when you're like this, it's like drinking a glass of poison and expecting the other person to die.
Yeah,
absolutely. Why would you poison yourself? Now, on the emotional intelligence world and the personal development world and spirituality world, they believe that focusing on what you're grateful for is very, very important in your health, in your relationships, in your wealth.
Yeah.
It's like the person who wrote The Science of Getting Rich, that was a main thing in his book.
That feeling of gratitude.
He says we need every day to focus on what we're grateful for. And he said every time he wrote about getting rich, think about exactly the same as about getting rich.
Yes.
In your cells and your body and so on.
Yes.
So he basically says, whenever you feel overwhelmed, whenever you feel you don't have enough money, whenever you feel this thing, sit down, write down. He claimed you should write down because I think when he wrote the book, they had touch tapping. Yes. So he said,
but somehow it doesn't matter. It's journaling in one way or the other, isn't it?
So he said, write down immediately several things that you're grateful for.
Yeah. So and people say before they go to bed at night, that is a really good time to write things. If people struggle with going to sleep, for instance, or have a little bit of negativity in their life, to write something that they're grateful for, or 2 or 3 things.
Exactly. Yeah. And if you're able to reach that point and write, just like Nelum did, things that I'm grateful for my dad, the person that you have the conflict with, that would be great. But if you can't, even focusing on other things, if it's really hard for you, focusing on other things is really a wonderful exercise. I once did Deepak Chopra's course, and in one of the courses, he basically said that the people that we most need to be grateful for are our parents, and generally, which is really, really interesting. So he basically says that we all need to do this exercise of writing a letter of thank you to our own parents.
I think that,
and you don't have to send it, but it's good for you to write it and realize that. In one of my sessions, one of my blogs, I wrote that we all need to write 100 things that we're grateful for.
Yes, you did, Ronit.
Why?
Yes.
Because you're supposed to have enough material that when your brain goes that way, you say to him, let's go back.
Yes.
And you have a list, and you just look at that list and immerse yourself in that feeling. Because gratitude is a feeling. It's a way for you to feed your body with happy, good chemicals that are essential for your health and well-being. So be grateful. Do every gratitude ceremonies. Yes. I want you to know that on my water bottle, I wrote, I thank the universe for. So every time I drink from my water bottle,
that's lovely.
I say something that I'm grateful for.
That's beautiful.
So find ceremonies that says that make you go into that place because you want to be in that place. Being grateful is the opposite, the antidote to being unhealthy and being frustrated
and unhappy.
Bye.